Hey, yo, what's going on? Derek here, getting ready to hop in and do some text blasting. That's what I'm about to do right now. For those who are new to the channel, we talk everything wholesaling real estate, specifically virtually wholesaling real estate, because that's what I'm doing personally. I live in California and I'm sourcing opportunity out in Texas, Houston to be exact. So if you are working that market, whether you're there in person or you're working it virtually as well, I'd love to connect with you, see if we can make something happen business wise. But other than that, if you're new to the channel and that's the type of content that you're into, please drop a like and subscribe. I go live, try to go live every day, Monday through Friday, if not multiple times a day. I hop on, do some cold calling. Every time I go cold, I do cold calling. Pretty much every time I go cold calling, I'll go live. Uh, I go live for my lead follow-ups, go live for my SMS campaigns. Been pre-recording some videos as well on comping, uh, my virtual driving for dollars process, stuff like that. So if that's something that you're interested in, again, go ahead, subscribe, hit on the notification bell so that you know when I go live Monday through Friday. Try to go live around the same time every day. Around this time, it's about 11 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, my time. So around that time, anywhere from like 11 to like 2, I try to go live in between those times. So we'd love to have you. I'd love to have you live so that I can kind of answer any of your questions live while I'm here. But if you are catching this after the fact and you weren't able to catch it live, don't hesitate to drop any questions, comments, concerns you have in the comment box, as well as any recommendations or suggestions on how to navigate the business better if you are experienced. If you have a handful of deals under your belt and you feel like you have some tips and tricks for me, I welcome those with open arms as well. So go ahead, drop a comment, whether you're watching live or you are catching it after the fact. I get notified via email when you comment on any of these videos, so I will see it and I will respond. I respond to every comment. So without further ado, I'm going to hop into my text platform. Now, if you watched any of my other videos, I just recently expanded to text. I've closed 2 deals virtually, with cold calling being like the main source of lead generation. Virtual driving for dollars to build the list, cold call to market to that list, and then just handled it all virtually with some boots on the ground out there. Have a title company out there that helped me out really, really well too. So now that I've closed on the second deal, I'm looking to kind of expand my marketing efforts to texting. So that's what I've done. I've texted through about a list of 1,000, but the problem, I'm not going to call it a problem. I really want to change my vocabulary in that regard. The opportunity that it has presented itself is getting a new list in there that is mobile only numbers. I made the mistake of uploading the list and not taking the time to sort through it in the beginning before importing it. I just imported the list with landlines attached. So I wasted a bunch of money by texting because it still texts those numbers. It just kicks it back as an error. So not only was I wasting a lot of money in texting those landlines because I didn't take the time to clean the list ahead of time, but I also, what's the other? Oh, I also was forced to have a lot of hands-on, like manual labor involved with the process of sending out these texts because it's on an automated drip campaign. So I add them to the campaign, but then they're going to get texted 5, 6, 7 times over the course of that first 30 days, even if it is a landline. So if it went out to a landline, it kicked it back as an error, and I didn't catch it and stop them from getting any more messages in the campaign, they would have continued to get the next message, and it would have charged me, and then it would have just kicked back an error every time. So I was forced to go message by message individually and try to replace the number with the next number in line for that specific property if it did kick back as an error. So I've been going through every single individual text. Like I said, I've sent out about 1,000. So now that I have taken the time, clean my list, and imported it into my software here to text with mobile only numbers, that should take not only should I be able to go hands free, right? And just allow the system to do its thing without the worry of me sending it to a bunch of landlines, I'll probably scroll through every once in a while just to double check that there's no landlines in there, or that I'm not wasting money, But not only that, but my contact rate will be significantly higher because, again, I've texted 1,000, uh, you know, people, but half of those are probably were just wasted money because I was just texting landlines. So only about, let's just say, I don't know the exact numbers. I could look into it, but I'm not gonna take the time to do that. Let's just say half. Let's just say half of the numbers that I texted were actually mobiles that had the ability to text me back. So that's only 500 people, right? And out of those 500 people, you know, however much your reply rate is only from that 500 and not the larger sample size of 1,000 that I thought. But now I got a new list in there. I was going to text through like 200 people today. That's the most people that I've texted a day is 200. Just because I want to be able to manage the replies. I don't want to text 10,000 people and then not have the bandwidth to even reply to the people who are interested, right? So I have, again, the max that I've sent out is 200. I was going to send out 200 on this new list, but then it got me thinking, well, every one of these people is guaranteed to get the text because it's mobile only, right? Well, not 100%, but, way more than what I've been getting. So I almost want to scale it back to like 100 today for like the first hour just to see if I get a lot more replies compared to what I've been getting. So that's what I'm going to do right now. I'm going to just send off 100, see what that's like. This guy texted me late yesterday saying, "Make me an offer. Not interested in talking." My first text that goes out is, "Hi, first name. Have you given any thought to parting ways with your address? Can we talk about it?" And then I drop him a Ringless voicemail. I'll play that right now just so you can hear it. I had a comment last night. Somebody asked me what that sounds like, so hopefully he watches this video, or anybody who's listening for the first time can take away from it. So this is what that Ringless voicemail sounds like, and this gets sent 3 minutes after that first text if they don't reply within those 3 minutes.
Hey, I just texted you about a property I believe you own. My partner and myself, we're local home buyers. We got some cash on hand, and we're looking to pick up one, maybe two more properties in that area there. I just wanted to give you a shout to see if you'd ever consider selling.
I want to re-record that because it sounds really scripted, but you get the general idea. Uh, hey, just shot you a text. I was texting you about that property that I think you own there. I just wanted to see if you'd ever had any interest in selling. My partner and myself, we have some cash on hand. We're looking to pick up a few more properties before the end of the year. That's what I've been saying on the phone. But yeah, we're looking to pick up a few more properties within the next 30 to 60 days here. Again, we do have some cash on hand, so we can close fairly quickly if that's something that you're looking for. If this seems like something that you may be interested in, give me a shout. That's kind of what I want to re-record it to sound like, a lot more casual. Um, but yeah, again, you get the general idea. It does the trick. It gets people calling back. It gets people texting back. So this guy texted back saying, "Make an offer. Not interested in talking." Um, this is probably somebody that I'm not going to waste my time with. Even if I gave him an offer that made sense for me, probably wouldn't make sense for him just because of his unreasonable tone. His estimate is 107. I'd imagine he wants something north of like 120. But I might as well just throw out an offer. Well, I'm gonna ask. I'm gonna ask one pre-qualifying question, and if he doesn't respond, he doesn't respond. But um, make an offer, not interested in talking. I'll say okay. Um, could you uh, give me um, a brief? Okay, could you give me give me a just can you give me an idea of what type of repairs would be needed to replace, comma, if any, question mark? and then I'll kind of roof, comma, foundation, comma, kitchen slash bath, question mark. That way, if he has any consideration in selling, he'll respond to that, right? He'll say, yeah, the roof needs replacing, it needs this, it needs that, make me an offer. So like I'm kind of fishing one more time. He says, make an offer, not interested in talking. I say, okay, uh, I feel like I have to preface it with something. I'm saying right now, I say, okay, could you give me an idea of what type of repairs would be needed to the place, if any? Roof, foundation, kitchen, bath. Again, if he had even the slightest bit of consideration, he would likely reply to this. Um, but like I said, I feel like I need to preface it with like, okay, um, I'm gonna say I wouldn't. Uh, Wants to make an offer. Wouldn't want to make an offer. I'm gonna say, okay. Uh, I'd hate to make an a low offer just because I I'm unaware of the. I'd hate to make a low offer just because I'm unaware of the true condition, uh, the interior condition. Could you give me an idea of what type of repairs would be needed, if any? Roof. That way he like under gets where I'm coming from. I'm trying to put him in my shoes. Like, well, I'm kind of saying like I'm forced to make you a low ball offer if you're not going to tell me anything about the property. Could you tell me about the property? Or it's kind of saying like, hey, I'm trying to get you the most money on this offer, but I need to know a little bit about the property. I'm pretty much saying that without saying it. I'm saying, okay, I'd hate to make a low offer just because I'm unaware of the interior condition. Could you give me an idea of what type of repairs would be needed? Again, boom, I'll send that off. If he really has any interest whatsoever, he'll reply to that. But if he's just like being an ass about it, he won't reply to that, and that's fine. That tells me all that I need to know. He's not actually motivated. All right, so I'm gonna go into my contacts here. First, I'm gonna double check that I did in fact get through the end of that list yesterday. So I'm gonna search it by the tag because I ran into an issue. I accidentally didn't add it in drip mode, where it's like, it's gonna text somebody every minute, or I've been doing 3 people every minute. I accidentally just added them all at once, so it literally texted 140 people all at once, which is not good for your which isn't good for your the reputation of your phone numbers. It'll start to get flagged as spam when the carriers like AT&T or Verizon pick up on the fact that you're sending off 140, 150 texts per minute. It's just not a good look. It was an accident, but I'm hoping that it hasn't affected my phone number's reputation so much so that I can't use them anymore. It wouldn't be that big of a deal, but what the problem is I think that I mean, yeah, they're getting texted from the people who I've added to this drip campaign are getting texted from that phone number over the next 30 days. So the idea is to not have to get any of your phone numbers flagged, because that'll uh, affect like the bulk amount of people who are getting texted from that one specific phone number, if that makes sense. But anyways, I really don't know how I can go about checking that. I think I just have to be cognizant and aware of when I start getting errors kicked back for certain error codes. It'll show you the error code from Twilio. And then you just have to Google Twilio error code, 330 30006 30003 or whatever the error code is, and then it'll show you what that error code corresponds to. Um, so I'm in Twilio right now. I just want to see if there's any area where I can go to my active numbers and check the reputation of them, because I know that's something that Call Tools does, and I really like that. I haven't gotten to the point where it's kicking me back, where it says, your caller IDs are popping up as spam, but it does have a little function right here where it's, I know you can't see what I'm doing, but it's check reputation, and I can just click down the line every phone number that I have. I have 3 caller IDs, and all of them it says is not flagged as a robocaller. So that's enough for me. Even if it's not accurate, it gives me peace of mind. I don't see anywhere in Twilio where it's doing this, so I'm not going to bother. Yeah, all right, let me get 100 of these puppies going out. So it's not this tag, but this is a driving for dollars list that I had already called through a few times. So this is the list of people who I never got a hold of on the phone. It's just everybody who was left over, and I had called through this list like 2 or 3 times, probably 3 times. So um, I would imagine that the response rate isn't going to be as higher as when I import a fresh list in here with mobile only numbers. Because again, I've already tried calling these mobile numbers and got no response. So, but then again, maybe it's just that it's the way that that person needs to be marketed to. It's not just a matter of uh, texting and cold calling because of mobile numbers and landlines, but also because people like being marketed to the way that they like being marketed to. Some people like texting over phone calls and they'll never answer their phone. And then some people, vice versa, they will never respond to a text because they think it's spam and would prefer talking to somebody on the phone because they know it's a real person. So people just like being marketed to the way that they like being marketed to, and it's on me to figure it out. And that's why I think it's powerful to maximize all of your marketing efforts. Squeeze the list dry as much as possible. So I'm going to take these 100, selected 100 records. I'm going to add to campaign. Yeah, exit out of some of these windows. Okay, proceed. Campaign. I'm going to add them to the general 20-day campaign. Add in drip mode. This is the mistake I made yesterday. Let's say 100 contact imports into 20-day campaign. Start on today I have the system set up so that it's their time, not mine. So, which is bothersome because when I was on this is just me venting for a second. When I was on the onboarding call with them, they were like, "What default time do you want to use to be displayed?" Right? And I was like, "Oh, well, let me have it in their time." I'm already thinking like that. I'm already thinking, okay, if it's 11:08 here, it's 1:08 there. So I prefer to just see it that way too. And they're like, "Okay, you just want to make sure because it's gonna be that way." I was like, "That's fine." But then I realized like it is that way for certain things, but when time is displayed elsewhere, it's in my time. So I wish they would have said that, because if that were to be the case, I would have just preferred it to be my time across the board, and not like my time in some places and then their time in others. But anyways, that's neither here nor there. So I'm gonna go 110, which is in 2 minutes from now. That's when it's gonna start. Batch quantity. I'm gonna do two. that gonna be enough? 2 ticks. I'm gonna do 3 ticks. 3 ticks a minute. So how quickly will I get through that? 33 minutes. Yeah. So my math is correct. I should get through these 100 in about 33 minutes. I'm gonna, just in case, it gives you the option to give windows of time, just in case your math is incorrect. Because right now I say 3, batch quantity 3, repeat after 1 minute. So every 1 minute, they're gonna put 3 more of these people into the campaign. But then again, they give you this little optional area to put the window of time, just in case like your math is incorrect there. So if it starts at 1:10, I'm gonna start from 1 p.m. and end at. So I told myself that 30 minutes is gonna take to get through them. So I just want to make sure that. So if I start at 1:10, well now it's 1:10, so I'm gonna start at 1:11. It's gonna take me 33 minutes, so I should for sure be done by 2. So I'm gonna select the end of the window as 2 p.m. and then boom, add to campaign. Now that should get added. Now let's schedule the little bulk action. Now I can come over into conversations and wait. And something that's been happening is when I add the attention tag to people, it's supposed to put the opportunity in the attention pipeline stage, but it doesn't. So I have been having to do that manually. So that's something that I need to look into. Attention tag, opportunity in attention pipeline stage. All right. Okay, it should be going out now. Boom. Juan is the first to get it. Juan, Raphael, Maria. None of them kicked back with an error, which is really reassuring because I would have for sure at least had one of those as errors when I imported it with the list, with the landlines as well. Yeah, there we go. 3 a minute to get through 100. Take about a half hour. If it seems like I'm able to, send some more out after that, I'll do another 100. Again, I don't know what the difference is going to be like. I don't know if I'm going to get inundated with a bunch of replies that I'm not going to be able to take care of and handle because, again, they're actually going to numbers that have the ability to text me back. All that. Okay, so here's the first one. This one, okay, this gave me the error. This 30,003 error doesn't mean that it's a landline. It just means that it's not going through successfully. It could mean that her phone is off. Carol's phone is off. So I want to see if Carol has another phone number that we can try. She doesn't. It's just this phone number. So I don't know. You know what I mean? Like, do you continue texting her just in case? I'm gonna write her name down just as like an example because I want to see what happens. I want to see if I allow the text to continue going through. If at one point, maybe when she does turn her phone back on, if she does receive the message and it does not kick back as an error. So this one, same thing. Wanda, 30,003. I think I'm going to just I'm gonna start. See, like Wanda doesn't have any extra phone numbers either. I'm just gonna use one as an example and follow this Carol lady, but like Wanda, I want to see what's gonna happen if I put in this replace number 2 tag. Now, before, if I were to put replace number 2, it would replace the phone number with the second phone number in line. But in this case, there is not a second phone number in line, so I don't know what actually happens. Usually I can just put replace number 2 and then forget about it. But in this case, um, I'm curious to know what happens. So she did get texted again. I wonder if it just went to the same number. There's no way of telling. Oh wait, yeah, there's. Yeah, so it just sent another text. So that's something that I got to be careful of too. Um, she's just gonna go to my all errors section where I'm gonna cold call them. Okay. Yeah. So, buddy. So Juan, oh jeez. So Juan says wrong number in person. Do not text again. And the system picked up on the fact that it said wrong number. So it automatically replaced it with the second phone number in line. And Carol's voicemail did not kick back as an error. So that's kind of interesting. So, okay. So I want to focus on Juan. Juan says wrong number person, do not text again. So the system picked up on that. It automatically replaced it with the second phone number in line. And then somebody else the second person in line texted back and said wrong address. I don't know. I'm just gonna, that one's weird. I'm gonna put that one under just the wrong number pipeline stage. Stop, buddy. Stop. And I also have a IVR setup, an interactive voice response. So if anybody were to call me back, it would go to, sorry, I'm not caught up. It would go to the IVR. So they would hear like prompt saying, hey, if you're interested, press 1 and leave a voicemail with your name, number, and address. If you're not interested in receiving an offer, press 2. And then I can filter through those after the fact and see who called me back and actually left a voicemail. Um, that way I'm not having to waste my time with people who are just calling in to say that they're not interested, right? I'm getting a lot of these errors still. 3,000, 30,003. So this is an example. Let me copy that. Go to Google and type in 3003 Twilio error code. Message delivery unreachable destination handset. The destination carrier is reporting the to number is unreachable. The device is likely powered down, out of the service area, or may not accept your messages. So I don't want to waste my time continuing to text those people. I don't want to bank on the fact that their phone is just off, right? Uh, so I'm just going to automatically push those to the cold call. Anybody who I see with that kickback. First, I want to check if they do have a second phone number, because some of these people have up to 2 mobile phone numbers. Uh, so first, I want to check and then try the second phone number if there is one, and then if not, I want to just automatically push them to my cold call pipeline stage. And once that adds up enough, that cold call pipeline stage, then once, every 100, 200 people, once that list builds up to about 100, 200 people, then I take that and I'm going to add it to uh, my dialer. So I just had somebody text back saying what his asking price is. So let me write down. I like writing down where I left off because I like going through them like I have been. So Jose 1121 is the last one that I reviewed. This guy said, Ruben said, 175K. I'm very familiar with this area, so I think that's way too high. Unless this place is brand new, that's actually a reasonable price. So what I'm going to do is pull up PropStream real quick. Close out of my call tools. I'm going to log into PropStream. While that's logging in, I'm going to come over here. I'm asking 175K. I can send you pics on this number if you will accept them. So he's ready. Again, 175K is really high, I think. Let me push it to Zillow, see what his estimate is. His estimate is 143. Let me run comps real quick on PropStream. This guy has owned the property for 8 years, doesn't own any others per PropStream. Coming to the comps, residential, single family, year built. Ours is 1940, so I'll do minimum 1930, maximum 1950. Ours is about 1,600 square feet, so I'll leave it how it is. PropStream typically takes, I don't know what it is. I think it may be like 20% in each direction, minimum to maximum square feet compared to your subject property. So right now it has the minimum of 1,277 for 1,600 square feet. It's like a little much. I can pull that up to 1,300. And then that is still even a little bit too much in each direction. I'll go 1,350 to 1,850. About 250 square feet in each direction. That gives me 8 properties, all within half mile. I'm going to now limit it to just my subdivision because I see that there's a lot of activity in the area. Yeah. So I had 3 properties that sold: 175, 185, 175. I told you, right on the money. That's exactly what properties are going for. He's asking 175. So it's not a property that I'm going to want. If it is, even his property is. So here's one on his street, literally a few houses down, that sold in August. It has 2 extra bedrooms and an extra bathroom. So this one sold for 185. I think ours is going to sell for like 155. It has 200 extra square feet. So I think ours could sell for like 135. Same exact lot size, same year built. I think ours is 135, our ARV, if you're looking at this property right there. Let's take a look at the other ones. Uh, the more recently one that sold was September 15th. That has an extra bed and an extra bath. That one sold for 175, so I think ours could sell for 155. Ours is just about 100 square feet bigger, so I say ours could sell for 165. Same exact lot, same year built. So I think ours is 165, our ARV. Um, and then this last comp, 175. This one sold about a year ago. Extra bed, extra bath, same lot size, same square footage, same year built. So just with that extra bed and that extra bath, I think that it could sell for 20,000 more. It sold for 175. I think ours could sell for 155. But again, this was a year ago. So to call the ARV around 165, another $10,000, I think is fair, just because of the market appreciation that we've been seeing. So I think he's asking slightly over ARV. I think that um, it may be a reasonable price to ask on open market if there were if it's completely remodeled. So I'm asking 175K. I can send you pics on this number if you will accept them. Okay. Let me ask. Has the place been remodeled? I mean, I don't know how to ask. I mean, I know I'm being lazy about it, but I just know this is not a lead for me. So, okay, let me ask: has the place been fully remodeled? I'm just gonna go out and ask. I'm not gonna hurt this guy's feelings. He's already willing to talk to me, so let's see if he has just like unrealistic expectations, or if he's asking the right price. I'm just not the right buyer. You know what I mean? Which could definitely be the case. Can we come back here to my sent? I'm gonna go back through them individually, make sure I'm not wasting money sending it to these errors. So Raul. So it has been fully remodeled. So I'll just let him know I'm not the right buyer for him. You know, no, nothing. Hopefully, I'm not insulting him when I say that. I'm just, it's not the best fit for me. I'm not really looking for something that's completely remodeled, but I want to see what his goals are. Because I'm gonna pitch him the realtor referral and say, hey, I think you can get somewhere close to that. I did my math, my quick math. I think you could probably take down 165, but that would be, selling it on the open market. You know what I mean? Hopefully that makes sense. Read my message that gets sent out. After I quickly go through these. Edward. Paste out the second number. See, this is almost more work. Ronnie. Yeah, what the fuck. I'm not gonna waste my time looking to see if they have another phone number. I'm just gonna go ahead and automatically push them to the cold call if they are kicking back an error. I hate to say it, but I think that the reason this is kind of a lower income area, um, and a lot of these people. I mean, this is going to sound pretty bad of me to say, but hey, I was there. I've been there. Growing up, did the same thing. Uh, what I was going to say is a lot of these people use prepaid phone numbers. So they'll like go buy minutes or like go buy like a prepaid phone from like the corner store, and then once they run out of minutes, the phone is done, right? So like when you're cold calling, a lot of times you'll come across those numbers, those type of numbers where they'll say it's no longer in service. I've even been going back and forth with somebody, and then called them back, and then had the message kicked back saying that the phone number is no longer in service. That would be my guess. Again, that sounds pretty bad of me, but I think that that's what this error code means, because there's no way that all of these people's cell phones are off. I would have to say that I think the phone is just completely out of service, the phone number. So please don't bother me again. DNC. Ruben says, to my question, I said, okay, let me ask, has the place been fully remodeled? He says, yes, all this place needs is some siding and paint. All plumbing, electrical, and gas system has been replaced. Has a brand new kitchen, granite countertops, custom cabinets built, 5 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms. It has a 12 by 12 storage shed in the back, recently built. They're always going to talk about the shed in the back when they want to increase the value. What up, man? OG's Fish Room. What's up, dog? Glad to have you. I think this is the first time you've been in here. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe this is the first time I'm seeing you. So glad to have you. Welcome. Right now, what I'm getting into is texting. I just sent off 100 texts, or they are sending as we speak. I'm talking to this one guy who gave me his asking price. I sent off the initial text saying, hey, have you given any thought to parting ways with that property there? He says, I'm asking 175K. I'm actually very familiar with the area. This is the exact area where I did my first deal. So I'm very familiar with the values. He was asking 175K. If it was anything similar to my subject property on my first deal, I knew that 175K was going to be the ARV, the after repair value, and not necessarily nowhere near where I need to be buying it in its as is condition. I ran the comps real quick, came to the determination that the ARV is like 165, probably 170 on a good day if you found the right buyer. Maybe even 175, like he's asking. I don't think it's unreasonable. But then I just went for the question to make sure. I said, hey, let me ask, has the place been fully remodeled? He said, yes. All this place needs is some siding and paint. All plumbing and electrical and gas system has been replaced. Has brand new kitchen, granite countertops, custom cabinets built. So now he's selling me, right? 5 bedrooms, 2. He said TO bathroom, 5 bedroom, 2 bathroom. It has a 12 by 12 storage shed in the back, recently built. Now, if it is in fact a 5 bedroom, 2 bathroom, that changes things, because what I'm looking at is a 2 bedroom, 1 bathroom. So now I want to clarify that we're talking about the right property here. So I'm going to send him a text, and I'm going to say, okay, just making sure we're talking about the same property. I'm looking at this address. I say, does that property have 5 bedrooms and 2 bathrooms? Because that's going to increase the value by like 40,000, 50,000. But I just don't find that to be the case in this little 1,600 square foot home. I think he may be talking about another property. I'm hoping that he is, but I want to see what he says to that. If 5 bedroom, 2 bathroom, 12 by 12 storage. But I mean, he's selling me on it, so he's interested. I'm trying to figure out if he's motivated, because if he's motivated, then I might even try to get him on the phone right now, try to vet out why he's looking to sell, and if that number is just a pipe dream, or if it's negotiable at all. It's probably negotiable, if I had to guess. I think he just threw that number out there because he saw that that's what properties were selling for. But then again, his property is in really good condition, is what it sounds like. But as an investor, as an end cash buyer who I would be looking to assign it to, even if it was like, I mean, honestly, ARV is 165. I'm not going to play the, maybe you could get that, when running the numbers, I'm going to go 165. That's what I can support through the comps. I would need to be offering like, I'd have to be at like 100 max, 100,000 max. So, I mean, even if that is enough. And that's what with minimal repairs too. That's just taking into consideration that the commissions, the fees that the end cash buyer is going to have to pay, their profit, my assignment fee that I'm going to be looking to get, and he's still saying that it needs a little bit of work. So I am taking into consideration like $20,000 worth of work. He says all it needs is siding and paint, and that probably means that it's going to need a little bit of landscaping too. It's going to probably need some flooring here and there. Um, So I considered 25, I think, in my quick little math real quick. But that brings it down to like 95,000. So if I wanted to even take a little haircut on my assignment fee, I could go upwards of 100,000, but then at that anything beyond that, it's kind of just not worth it. OG's Fish Room, I'm good, bro. I just came across your channel. How long have you been wholesaling? How good are you doing with it? Happy you started wholesaling? Very happy I started wholesaling, that's for sure. I've been doing it for like, okay, I'm gonna give you the long-winded answer to that because it came in phases. So back in March of 2020, right before COVID was a thing, I quit my job. I was in the insurance industry. I hated it. It was really affecting my mental health, my mental well-being. Like really, it was increasing my anxiousness. Like I had terrible anxiety at that job, just people pleasing. Um, and feeling like I had to be somebody that I wasn't. So I quit the job with really no plan. I just knew that I wanted to get into real estate. So in the past, I started studying um, for the real estate agent, the salesperson exam. I just never went through with taking the test. So I figured, hey, I'll start doing that. So I started studying for the test. My buddy, who I went to college with, had just passed his exam, so he became a licensed realtor. So I thought, hey, I'll do it with him, kind of, we'll navigate the industry together as beginners. But then I learned about wholesaling, and I'm going to take a step back there because I had heard about wholesaling probably like 3 years ago on the Breakfast Club, if you're familiar with it, kind of the pop culture, you know, XM radio station. And a guy named Mark Whitten got on there and started talking about the concept of wholesaling. Again, this was like 3 years ago, or maybe even longer. This was like right when I started that job that I had quit. And he kind of broke it down, what it was, how people, can do it. And I was like, dang, like people are really doing that. That's crazy. I just never really cared to partake in it because I was at my job that paid me really well, to be honest. I don't want to like it seem like I wasn't getting paid there, but they just didn't take care of me. It was a really poor atmosphere, really poor work environment, toxic work environment. So when again, I quit, I started restudying for my realtor exam. And then a buddy of mine, there was three of us who we all went to college with, really good friends. The third guy was like, who was not the licensed agent, was like, hey, you guys heard about wholesaling? And I was like, yeah, I had heard about that a few years ago. I just never really took the time to learn about it. So then we started getting into wholesaling. We got in over our heads thinking like, oh, um, let's get Yo, me too, bro. I so regret not listening to it. Yeah, Mark Whitten. Yeah, I know. It was like kind of just like it passed right over my head, went in one ear out the other. Like it just didn't seem fathomable. And I know this is common too, like especially among the like lower income areas or cultures. You can say cultures that are lower income, but you know what I mean. People just don't think people think that there is a much higher barrier to entry into the real estate game than there actually is. And that's kind of just that mentality that I was in. I was like, oh, like he's saying it, like he's doing it, yeah, because he's big time. You know what I mean? I just didn't think that it was something that I was really able to do. But then I left myself no choice. Again, quit my job, and somebody else that we had gone to college with, um, he moved out to Oklahoma. I live in the San Francisco Bay Area, so to like just pick up a rental out here is like it's not something that you can just do, right? Like you gotta either have one of these tech jobs out here, or that's really what the market is tailored for. Uh, you hear about these high price points of homes, single family homes out in California, especially in the San Francisco Bay Area, Silicon Valley over here. It's priced for the engineers. Nobody out here can afford that stuff. I've been renting forever. Me and my girl are still looking to get our first place, but that's why people move away. It's like if you don't have a tech job, an engineering job, a top sales job, if you're not a big player out here, then you're losing. You know what I mean? So it's like my buddy, to go back to my story, a guy that we went to college with just purchased a home in Oklahoma for like, I swear it was like $20,000, which again is like you can't even put a down payment down here. Down payments on out here for $1 million home have to be 200,000. So he picked it up cash, cashed in his savings that he accumulated over like the course of a couple of years after graduating college, bought a house or at least put a sizable down payment down on it, and then he started house hacking. He started renting out one of the bedrooms, and now he's cash flowing. The rent that he charges his roommate is more than his mortgage payment, so now he's cash flowing. So we're thinking to ourselves, damn, like we should be doing that with him. We should be pitching in money for him to continue doing that out there and have him manage the properties he's out there. And then we were like, yeah, that's too much. Like, we need to go back to the basics. We need to figure out the real estate industry before we start buying property. So then my buddy was like, you ever heard of wholesaling? And I was like, yeah, I had heard of wholesaling. And then we took a little bit of a deeper dive into it. And then us three as partners went into it, and we started dabbling. We weren't really serious. And that's why I say, like, I've been doing it for a year. But so I quit my job in March 2020. About a week later, they were like, the pandemic. And my boss actually came back to me and they were like, you know, this is pretty unforeseen. Like, we just want to make sure you really want to quit, because this whole pandemic thing rolled out literally days after I put in my 2 weeks notice. And I was like, you know what? This is a test. It felt like a test, like God was testing me. I don't know if you're religious or not, but I felt like the reason why I quit was to put my back against the wall and leave myself no choice but to figure it out. And then here it is like the most scary, biggest, unforeseen, unknown thing presents itself. And obviously, the only thing that I wanted to do was run back to security, right? Run back to my boss. Please take care of me. Continue paying me, please. But I was like, you know what? This is a test. I'm quitting. Yes, I'm quitting. And then yeah, man. So we started hitting the phones. We did everything that you're not supposed to do. We built a website. We filed for an LLC. We figured out which CRM we were going to use. And it's funny because, like, in the moment, we knew that we were playing around and not really taking it seriously, but it still felt like we were being productive. Granted, there were three of us, though. So we were doing things like, division of labor. But we didn't really get on the phones until like August of 2020. And even then, like, we were hand dialing, us three. We tried to hit like 50 properties per day. Sometimes that would happen. So we were getting through like 150 properties between the three of us, on like a 15% contact rate. What is that? That's like a little over 20 properties a day, a little over 20 contacts a day. It just wasn't cutting it. And we didn't have the skills on the phone. And then our first partner backed out. It was like, you know what, it's not for me. I'm gonna go back to school. I think he's doing dental hygiene or something like that. But so then it was just me and my other buddy, me and my other partner. We saw it through. We got our first few contracts under our belts. Um, we went 0 for 3 on our first 3 contracts. I want to be clear about that too. That's, and again, by no means, I want to reiterate this because I say it every episode, but I don't ever want to come on here and be like, I know what I'm doing, right? Listen to me. I'll guide you to the promised land. I'm still learning and I'm gonna forever be learning. I never want this to come across as something like that. I just want to, the reason I really created this channel was to document my journey. Um, So I kind of lost my train of thought. Oh yeah, that's why I always try to be forthright and transparent about the deals that I lose too. So I went 0 for 3 on my first 3 contracts. Um, on my fourth and fifth contract, I went 2 for 2. So I've done 2 deals since I started. Back to kind of that timeline, I wouldn't say that we really started hitting the phones, got a dialer until like December 2020. Um, and then my other partner quit, so now it's just me. And then to be honest, I attest both of those deals to my month of July. July, I hit it hard. I was going crazy, you know, crazy in my terms, based on what we were doing. So I was hitting like 100 contact weeks, 20 contacts a day at minimum, Monday through Friday, every day, Monday through Friday, every week. And then I got my first contract solo at the end of July, and that one closed, or probably like midway through July, and that one closed at the end of August. And then before that one closed, I got my second contract solo uh, around early to mid August, and that one closed at the end of September. So I had both of my closings happened within like 30 days of each other. And now I'm just back on the hunt for this next contract. So to answer your question, I know that was the extreme long-winded version of that, but how long you been wholesaling? As a group, we've been wholesaling for since like August 2020. Solo, I've been doing it for probably like 6 months. I think my second partner backed out around April, April or May. So about 6, 7 months solo, and I love it. It gets stressful, but I just like I'm really excited about the future and what I'm able to do once I start having cash flow. Once the income starts coming in, I have crazy ideas every day about how I want to reinvest into the business and how I'm going to scale it up, all that good stuff. So, and I wanted to ask OG's Fish Room, um, you wholesaling? Because I know you said you regret not listening to him. So, total 3 deals. I've done 2. I've closed 2. I have 5 contracts, 2 deals closed. But yeah, are you wholesaling? Yeah, you had mentioned that you wish you would have listened to him. Have you taken his advice yet and started the journey, or you just kind of dabbling in it, thinking about it? That seems to be a majority of the people who are tapping into the channel here are people who are considering. And I feel like, what my channel does have to offer that maybe some of the bigger channels have surpassed is just that like intimate kind of one-on-one you see me doing it type of vibe, whereas like they are way past that and can show you. For me it's like you're watching me do it, you're seeing me do it, I'm talking. That goes a long way for people who are considering first time. No, I haven't, but I want to get rolling. Yeah, man, like I was saying, I have a few people in here. I have like 2 or 3 like main supporters that will hop on my live. I try to go live like Monday through Friday around this time every day. And a couple of them are just starting off. Actually, one of them just hopped on my live stream yesterday and told me that they got their first deal or their first contract signed on Friday. So I'm kind of waiting to hear back, hoping that he hops into one of my next live sessions because I want to know the details on that. He's doing it virtually as well from California. That's kind of how he connected with me because we're doing the same thing. He may even be doing it in my virtual market too, Houston. So curious to know about that. But I thought that was pretty cool because just like everybody's kind of able to see me, or hey, I don't even know if you know, but I started this channel before I uh, closed that first deal. So if you go back, I have a playlist called My First Wholesale Deal. You can literally go through and watch the videos in order of me locking up the contract, talking with the tenant, which was actually the owner's daughter, talking to the title company, talking to my cash buyer. Just documents that whole first wholesale deal. So it's cool to me to have started the channel with kind of that in mind, and it was really cool for me to see it through and actually happen the way that I intended it for it to happen, which was to document that first wholesale deal. And then to actually have somebody tap in, ask me questions, and now they've locked up their first contract is pretty rewarding. Not to say that I have anything to do with it because, it's all on the effort that he put forth on the phones, and all of the effort is 100% on him. Just cool for me to be a part of it to some degree. So shoot, yeah. Do you think you could help me get started? Absolutely. What's holding you back? What's holding you back? How much do you know? You know what I mean? Like, are you beginner? Are you you know the concepts? You're just kind of hesitant to do a specific thing to have you jump start into it, or um, yeah, I'm curious. How far along are you in the journey, and the information as well? Like, do you know enough to get started, or are you still educating yourself? What's your email? Drop it right here. Some funny. No, I'm not Fernando. I don't want to sell my house. I'm a child. That's weird. Um, no other phone numbers. I'm just gonna go ahead and say not interested. But yeah, definitely OG's Fish Room. I'm really curious as to why that's your name too. But uh, definitely like and subscribe here. And I don't really do the notification bell thing personally, but if that is something that you're into, that way you can get notified when I do go live. Like I said, Monday through Friday, I try to go live around the same time. So I know people, my buddies were telling me that my videos are starting to pop up on their recommended. So if you want to just leave it up to that, that's cool with me too. But if it is something that you're not wanting to miss, feel free to hit that bell too, so you get notified. Because I'd love to have all you guys. The point of me saying that is I'd love to have all you guys in here at the same time. That way you can start bouncing the ideas off of each other. Experiences that you're running into, all that good stuff. I've thought about parting ways of you bothering me about it. Not interested. All right, this Ruben guy says, okay, just making sure we're talking about the same property. I'm looking at 809 Center. Does that property have 5 bedrooms and 2 bathrooms? Yes. If you like, I can send you some pictures, but I will only send them through a phone number. I don't mess with computers. I don't know how they don't like me. I don't really know what he's talking about, but there's no way this is 5 bedrooms. Um, but I'll say sure, send them through. I mean, even if it's still too much, but if that's the case, what did I say? It's gonna be another like $40,000 in value, so it'd be like a 205 ARV. Even if it was minor, I'd still have to be at like 125 max, $50,000 less than what he's asking. But I'll say sure, send them through. We'll say, well, I'll be honest before I waste your time. That asking price is a bit high for us. We tend to buy properties that need a bit of updating. And buy properties that we can build equity into through. We tend to buy properties that need a bit of updating. I'm not going to get too technical with this guy. We tend to buy properties that need a bit of updating. I'll be honest before I waste your time. That asking price is a bit high for us. We tend to buy properties that need a bit of updating. And this one sounds like it's in great condition. I think that I think that you may be able to sell it for somewhere in that ballpark if you listed it on market. Have you considered that? Just want to feel them out. Now I'm going for the realtor referral. It's not going to be a deal for me, but again, I think he probably could get that price if he were to sell it on the MLS. So that's not something that I'm going to be able to help him out with. But if I can refer him to a realtor for assistance, I will do that. It looks like I've gotten through the 100 that I sent out initially, so I'm going to go ahead and send out another 100. What's up, OG's Fishing? Were you gonna just curious? Are you gonna email me some questions, or what's the email for? Oh, is this you right here? Asking for a call. Come in here, grab another 100. He says, yes, but we haven't considered selling it to just a few days ago. Thank you anyway. We won't take anything less than that. So I want to make sure that we leave on a good note, and I do try to, I'll say, completely understand. I have 200,000 invested in it. Yeah, even if it is a 5-bedroom, 2-bathroom. Let me look at these comps again. This one's a 4-2, 18, but it must be way bigger in square feet. Let's just say it's close to this 1,800 in square feet. If they did make an addition, that would make it 195. Yeah, he's still only looking at like a 200,000 ARV. Yeah, that's way too high. Completely understand. I'm gonna say we work closely with a realtor that may lay out your options for you if you decide to list it on market. Completely understand. I'm gonna say, not sure if you have a realtor in mind. If you do decide to list on market, but I work closely with an agent that could lay out your options for you. That way, you at least know. I'm trying to let him know, like, completely understand. Not sure if you have a realtor in mind, but if you do decide to list on market, not sure if you have a realtor in mind. Not sure if you have a realtor in mind. If you take that route. But I work closely with an agent that could. That could lay out your options for you. That way, you at least know. I work closely with an agent that could explain that process to you. That way, you at least know all of your options. Completely understand. We're not the best fit for everybody, which is why I to not waste people's time. I'm not sure if you have a realtor in mind. If you decide to take that route, but I work closely with an agent that could help explain that process to you. That way, you at least know all of your options. Would you be open to discussing with him? And this is the exact time in which I want to go for the realtor referral. Not only when they have a high asking price, but when it's justified. So he's saying he's dumped a lot of money into this place. By the sound of it, it sounds like it's in really good condition, and his asking price is pretty reasonable for that price point, that condition of a property. That's not what I'm looking for. That doesn't mean that's not what somebody else is looking for. It's just that he's not going to be able to find that somebody else, in my opinion, unless he lists it on market through a realtor. So that's why I want to, at least I still want to take care of him. You know what I mean? I don't want to just, oh, he's not going to sell to me, kick him to the wayside. I want to, he's not unreasonable in his asking price. So I want to make sure that he gets taken care of the best way that I can help him. And the best way that I can help him in this situation is to refer him to an agent to explain him that process, to give him a general idea of, what it would look like if he did decide to take that route and list it on market the traditional way. That way he at least knows, no, my sister, she's a realtor. Thanks. Of course, wish you the best of luck. Please feel free to save my number and reach out if anything ever changes on your end. We also offer a $1,000 referral fee if you happen to know anybody that is looking for a cash offer on their property. This guy is like, to me, I'm gonna mark him as a follow-up, because he's worth revisiting, in my opinion. Just to shoot him a quick text, hey, were you able to sell that property? It's only gonna take a quick second. And then he's gonna say, yeah, all right, cool. Would you happen to have any others you'd like to sell? No? Okay, do you know anybody who's looking to sell? No? All right, well, congratulations again on the sale of that property. Real quick, nothing crazy. Follow up. Has he sold that property? Any other property? Know anybody looking to sell? And that's myself. I'll follow up with him maybe at the beginning. No, I'll follow up with him in like a month. Because he said he just decided like 2 days ago that they were going to sell. Which means that even if he was motivated, he still probably would have high hopes of getting like a lot for his property. Somebody who just decides to sell is going to be like, yeah, I need 200,000. But somebody who has been trying to get 200,000 for their property for 6 months and realize that everybody's offering 130, well, then they start to realize, you know what, maybe my asking price is a bit high and that my property is probably worth somewhere around the 130 mark. You know what I mean? Sometimes people just need time to kind of sit in their distressed situation to realize, you know what, it's either I have to take that 130 or I have to continue dealing with whatever. So can't convince somebody to sell their property. You're only going to be able to catch them at the right time. sales skills and the ability to push somebody off the fence when they're considering is one thing. That's when their timeline is already short. For somebody who wants to sell within the next 90 days, a good closer, a good salesperson, if that person is truly motivated, conditioned, timeline, price, everything lines up and it makes sense. It's just that they don't want to pull the trigger now. They want to wait 60, 90 days. A good salesperson will be able to overcome that and get the contract signed. A good salesperson will not be able to convert somebody into a contract if the person is saying, yeah, maybe next year I'd sell, or yeah, the place is brand new and I need $100,000 over ask or over retail, or I'm not really looking to sell, but what's your offer? Those type of people, they're not motivated, they're not ready to sign anything. So even the best salesperson ever is not going to be able to convert that into a contract. And if they do, that person's just going to cancel the contract right afterwards. You know, that's something else that a lot of people forget. It's not just about getting the contract signed, it's about getting it to the closing table, which may take weeks. Uh, in my case, on my first deal, it took like 45 days to actually get it closed after I got the contract signed. So that's a big thing is to keep that rapport, keep that relationship. And if you're just kind of like using tips and tricks and everything up your sleeve to be able to con them into signing a contract, you're going to lose them a few days later because they're going to get seller's remorse. They're going to start thinking to themselves, dang, I really didn't want to sell, but Derek hit me with all the one-liners and made me feel good about myself. But now I'm realizing, now that I've had time to think about it, I don't even want to sell. And they're just going to back out and cancel the contract. So you got to pick your spots. So let me do this again. I'm going to add the campaign. 100, select one or more. Oh, I didn't select context. 100 records, add to campaign. Okay, proceed. Add in drip mode to the general. Say 100 contact import to general 20-day campaign. You know I'm trying to spell campaign. Come on. Start in 4 minutes. I'll start it in 2 minutes. What did I do? I did 3 every 1 minute. That seemed to be good. All right. Got 100 more dripping in. Oh, tripping. All right, here we go. That's going to start in 2 minutes. See, like I thought the response rate was going to be much higher than what it was. But again, I've already tried calling through this list. So the fact that anybody actually texted back is pretty surprising because I've already tried calling all of these numbers with no success. So I think it was kind of to be expected that I wasn't going to get the highest reply rate in this campaign because I'm using kind of recycled data intentionally, though. The fact that this guy just made that decision 2 days ago to sell just kind of speaks to the power of recycling your data and squeezing it for all it's worth, especially your driving for dollars lists. Because at one point, they will have to sell to a cash investor or dump a bunch of money into the property themselves in order to fix it up before selling it. Because in all likelihood, the properties on my driving for dollars list the condition is so poor that it would not likely pass inspection for a conventional loan. If that makes sense. I'm hoping that it does. That's the that's why cash investors are needed in the marketplace, because if somebody allows their property to get into such disrepair that they don't have the financial means to make the repairs themselves before fixing it up, then then they have to sell to a cash investor. That they either, hopefully that makes sense, because they can't sell it to a retail end buyer. Let's say a family is coming along and they're like, you know what, we're willing to buy this house. Yeah, I know it's a fixer upper, but we'll do the work ourselves. And yeah, we'll put down 20% for the down payment. The bank who they're getting the loan from is going to say, no, we're not going to give you a loan on this property. You're going to have to pay for it yourself. Um, or they'll say, you know, it's close enough. We'll give you the loan if it passes inspection. And then they're going to send inspectors out there and be like, well, the roof's caving in and this and that and the third. And then the lender is going to say, we're not going to lend on this property, right? We're going to give you 80,000, but then the roof's going to cave in and then the property is going to be worth significantly less. So it's still an investment that the banks or lenders are making. Um, they're investing in the property, into you. So again, the only option that these people really have is to either dump the money into the property themselves to make the necessary repairs so that they can sell it to that family, so that that family only has to put 20% down so that a lender will actually lend on the property, or they sell it as is. And the only people that are going to be able to buy it as is are the people who are going to be able to buy it outright, buy it free and clear, 100%. I'll pay you what the property is worth, and that's it. I don't have to owe anything. I don't owe a mortgage. Nobody's lending me money for this. I'm going to pay you 100% cash. And that's what a cash investor is, and that's why they're so powerful. And that's why they are needed in the marketplace. As much as people try to cancel them and, you know, rid of them in the industry, they're pretty essential and vital. All right, new texts are dripping out again, hitting 3 per minute. Uh, just kind of going through them again, making sure that it's not kicking back errors. Jose says stop. The system automatically picked up on it. It marked the conversation as read so that I didn't even need to see it. I just so happened to be on this person as he texted back. It's going to add the DNC tag. It's going to opt him out of the marketing campaigns. It's going to add him to the DNC pipeline stage. All of that just because the guy said stop, because I have the trigger in the background that picks up on the words stop, cancel, unsubscribe, quit, the F word, you know, all types of curse words. If they reply with any of those things, it's going to do everything that I just told you. It's going to tag it DNC. It's going to opt them out of all the marketing campaigns. It's going to put them into the DNC pipeline stage. And it's also going to mark the conversation as read so that when I'm doing these at scale, I don't even have to waste my time going through all of those. It's just going to mark it as read. It's going to handle all that for me so I don't even have to look at it. If that makes sense. Catch myself saying that a little bit too often. I want to stop. I'm going to be under the impression that you do know what I'm talking about. Wrong number, delete me off your list, please. All right. He's already in the. Oh, this all happened too. So he got added to the wrong number. Opportunity. Now I kind of got to start switching things up because I built out my system for when there were landlines. So wrong number triggers the phone number to be replaced by a second in line. But in a lot of cases, there isn't a second phone number, but it still sends out a message. I just don't know who they're sending that message to. So I'm just going to go ahead and take them out of that campaign just in case. Wrong number. Yeah. Boom. Bring it back. Ruth. So I think I'm just going to import one mobile phone number. I'm not even going to waste my time with the multiple mobile phone numbers, all that silly stuff. I'm just going to try the first mobile phone number. I'm going to try texting that first mobile phone number. If if I don't get a reply, then I'll cold call that same number. And then if there are other mobile phone numbers that I get when I go to skip trace it beyond that first mobile phone number, I'm just going to take those mobile phone numbers and bring them straight to my dialer so I can cold call them. I think it's just going to be a lot easier if I just get just one mobile phone number per property. That's actually how they recommended that I do it on my onboarding, but I thought I was being slick by figuring out another way to do it. But now I'm realizing why they told me to do it that way. Dang, this guy's he gets crazy deals. I'm in this little group. He says, fortunate in the follow-up, seller said they weren't interested 2 months ago, but I followed up last week and they said tenants were giving them problems and they were ready to let it go. I offered to help relocate tenants and assist in moving expenses and they agreed. Always lead with value and always look to be a problem solver. It's great advice. Not for sale. Tag him not interested. I realized my dog was back there sleeping. He's sleep. I don't know if it's the time of day, but I could probably do more than 3 per minute. I was just a little hesitant because they were all mobile numbers and I expected to get a little bit more of a reply rate. But it's all good. Now I know. It's like, yeah, damn, they're going a little too slow for me. Usually I'm used to playing catch up. It's already sent off 30. I'm gonna pull up my Twilio, see if anybody is calling back. Again, I'm not taking the incoming calls. So when they call me back, a lot of these people are going to call me back because I'm dropping them a Ringless voicemail. So they're going to think that I just tried calling them. So they're going to call me back. But 99% of the people are going to call me back and say, "Why'd you call?" "Oh, no, I'm not selling my property." Or they're going to call me with the intention of telling me, "Hey, I'm not selling my property. Take me off your list." So as a way to just avoid that and try to filter through the people who want to sell, when they call in, they get a interactive voice response, an IVR. And it's like a call tree, also referred to as a call tree. It's when you call in somewhere and they're like, "Thank you for calling. Please press 1 for this. Please press 2 for this." So in my case, it's like, please press 1 if you're interested. That way you can leave a voicemail with your name, address, and number. If you're not interested, press 2. That way I can just go in after the fact and sift through these and call back the people who are leaving me voicemails that are actually interested, as opposed to having to juggle like all of the texts that are going out, all of the replies that are coming in, all the phone calls that I'm getting. It's just makes it a little bit cleaner. So, mhm. Mhm. Uh, okay. Trying to find where I need to go to look for these voicemails. Well, I know where I need to go. It's just my computer's going crazy slow. See, like this one. Oh, no. Okay, so nobody's called back in on this number today. Let's check the other two numbers. No incoming calls on that one. Let me check the last phone number. See if I've had any incoming calls. Two incoming calls, but not today. Cool. That's it. See how many here. Still need to be added to the campaign. Oh, about half. About 50 more need to get sent out, which should take what? About 15 minutes, 16 minutes. Told myself I was going to send off pretty much 300 texts today, or 360 texts today. I've only sent off 200, or getting ready to send off 200. So I really could, at this rate, just finish the list off and send it to like another 200 people. And do it like 5 per minute, because at this rate I can handle that. And then at 5 per minute, I'll just be able to get through the other 200 in like, what, 20 minutes? 40 minutes? Mm-hmm. not the right number. Okay, now I want to see if there's another number here that I can try. There is not, so I'm just going to go ahead and move him to the wrong number in the pipeline stage. And then mark it as red. It already did. Perfect. All right. Virtual 230. See how many more we have left. About 30 more texts, which will take about 10 minutes. Yeah, because this is going way too slow for me. I need to pick this up. Yeah, it's slowed down. But again, no reason for me to not text these people. Might as well. Plus, everybody doesn't text back right away, right when you text them. I'll get texts in the middle of the night. People texting me back. It's just a matter of sending out the text, right? Text. I don't wanna get too overly consumed in nobody's replying, because it doesn't really matter. Are the texts going through? Yes, that's all good. Then that's the only thing that I can control is how many texts I send out. Obviously, I can change my. There's other stuff that I have in my control, but I cannot control whether or not somebody's going to reply. I could write the best text script in the world, but if they're not wanting to sell, they're not wanting to sell. And I feel like I've already milked this list pretty good on my dialer through cold calling. So this was more of an experimental thing for me to get a list in here, mobile only numbers, and um, to start playing around with how many texts that I can send out per minute. So I'm doing 3 per minute right now. Definitely able to do more than that. I'll pick it up to maybe like 5 a minute for an hour. I can start sending out maybe 300 texts a day. My max has been 200. Um, I've done 200 thus far, but it's taken me just about 2 hours to do. Um, so I want to increase the number of texts that go out per minute and maybe even condense. Well, yeah, which will condense the time in which it takes to send those texts out. So if I do 5 a minute for an hour, I'll be able to send out 300 in an hour, right? And uh, that's the highest volume that I've done thus far. But at this rate, I think that I can keep up with that reply rate on those 300. So no. Now the responses are starting to come in a little bit. This guy says no. I'll say not interested. This woman says nope. I'll say not interested. Some more new text going out. I no longer own that house. Let's see if I have a template for this. Already sold, don't own it anymore. My template, quick reply. Oh, okay. Would you happen to have any other property you'd be interested in receiving a cash offer for? Boom. That's something else that I want to build out over time is just those quick templates, those kind of canned responses to the same old questions or statements that people are making. That way I don't waste any time typing those things out. It's just boom, boom, send. Let's see how many more need to be sent. About 13 more. 13 more texts should be done in about 4 or 5 minutes. Sending out these new ones. This woman's name is Mary Clary. What a name. What a name. All right, I think that may be it for the new ones. Nope. So there was still a decent amount of errors in that list, but I think that's it right there. Let me go to my actions to be sure. I'm pretty sure that was the last one. Yeah. So that was another 100. This is not Norman, and I don't know how you can reach Norman. Okay. Sorry, young sir. Wrong number. I'm going to come into my pipeline and make sure that everybody that I added to the wrong number section. Yeah, they did. I want to make sure that things got marked as lost. I just got a poop emoji. A poop emoji response. Oh, see, it did it anyways. Yeah, see, now I need to go in and change all these triggers because it's messing it up. I'll end up wasting money anyways. I'm going to go ahead and assume that this person is not interested if they replied with a poop emoji. Just an assumption, but I think it's a safe one. Come to my pipeline, make sure that everybody in my replied pipeline stage has been addressed. So I'll pull her up, go to the conversation, figure out why she's still in the replied stage and not another one. Because if she has replied to me, she should either be in the not interested stage, the wrong number stage, I no longer own that house. Okay, that makes sense. Oh, okay, would you happen to have any other property you'd be interested in receiving a cash offer for? She didn't reply, so um, what I'm going to do is drag her to the pipeline stage that I titled MLS / already sold. This guy, Michael, says, oh, this is the guy that said, can you meet me tomorrow at 2 p.m.? He said that yesterday, and I said, yeah, I could send somebody out. I'd love to learn a bit about the property first and see if we're a good fit. Did you have a moment to talk? He never replied. Um, I think he was just playing with me, but I'm not going to just assume that he was trying to play with me. I'm actually going to assume that he wants to sell the property there. So I'm going to place him into the um, my warm campaign, and that one goes like this. That one is for the people who are interested but not right now. Um, or maybe I'll put them in hot, interested in selling but no appointment made or no offer made. And if I put them in the hot lead flow, it would look like, hi, blank, thanks for speaking with me about your address. Can we talk today so I can get you that cash offer? Uh, First name, I know life gets busy. Do you have any free time today to discuss an offer for blank address? Let me know. I'm flexible. We're active cash buyers in your city and we're looking for one more property this month. Are you still considering your options for that address? Hey, first name, just following up on our conversation. We want to get you an offer. So I'm actually going to put him in this one. Um, I'm just going to take it on his face. You know what I mean? I think he will. I think he probably was messing with me, and he was just trying to schedule an appointment. It may not even be the right person, but I'm going to take it at its face and assume that it is the right person, and I'm going to continue marketing to him as if he is really wanting to sell his property, like he told me he was. And then this guy is an attention, Anthony. Oh, this is the retail lead. Um, so I want to put him in. I think it's the retail lead at least. The guy who was asking 175. Oh no, this is the guy who said, "Make me an offer. Not interested in talking." I asked a little bit more about the condition. Um, I'm gonna leave that one in attention because I'm later. I want to just quickly run comps on that and just give him an offer if that's what he wants. You know, that's something that I am able to do through text. You know, just like whatever, shoot my shot. You know, give him an offer if that's really just all he wants. Likely never going to turn into a contract if I do that. But if I maybe send off like 1,000 offers that are like that, I get a handful of people that may consider. But yeah, so all the texts went out. That was 200 today. Um, I like to keep track of these metrics for myself just to make sure that I'm hitting my goals. So let me go ahead and say that I did 200 more. So that's 340 on the week. I might just come back in a little bit and do those extra 160. I want to get 500 out today, or I might just do those for tomorrow, 160 tomorrow. Um, but yeah, appreciate everybody who tapped in. If you're still tapping in, I always say this, if you're still here watching after the fact, I appreciate you. And um, at that point, you should likely subscribe because you're my biggest fan. Appreciate you. Go ahead, drop a like, subscribe if it is something that you're interested in. If you like wholesaling content, specifically virtual wholesaling content, doing that every day here, going live Monday through Friday around the same time. Hit the notification bell if you're interested in joining me live, asking some questions, giving me some feedback, all that good stuff. So until then, until tomorrow, peace.